Hey guys, welcome back to some AFK Arena. Today's video, we're going to be looking at the Ghoulish Gallery, and I want to show you the fixes that I would love to see, or if I had a magic wand for a day that I would go ahead and change when it comes to the Ghoulish Gallery. So let's go ahead and get into it. Now, one of the big things with the Ghoulish Gallery is the arcane staffs. These are incredibly difficult to get. If you want to get them, they are 300 diamonds out of the shop. And of course, if you're buying them out of the shop, that means you can't buy other things. You're looking at celestials, you're looking at hypos, you're looking at adding additional stars onto your awakened heroes. There's so many things where the diamonds are so vital. It really overrides and trumps the arcane staffs, really limiting the ability for us to get these staffs and limiting the ability for the staffs to be utilized to get those totems. Now, of course, for my adjustment, I want to see them in the AFK rewards right here. I would love to see arcane staffs dropping on a regular basis, giving us the ability to go ahead and get some more of those totems. Totems, of course, roll up from the blue totems to the purple, purple up to the legendary totems, making the legendary totems even more important. And of course, with that, pumping us and giving us more arcane staffs, and also giving us the ability to get additional staffs out of there would make a big difference. Now, of course, this could be achieved by the Field of Stars. Now, we've seen this before when it comes to the Field of Stars, putting some more stars in here, essentially, that are around collections, that could be around draconic heroes. They could do a few things where, hey, through the dailies or maybe even through the weeklies, you know, you can get up to 5 or 10 additional arcane staffs every single week. That is going to roll up, because if they gave us 10 a week, then you got 40 a month. That is going to make a big difference and really easing out a lot of the collections and what you could really build with those. Now, of course, when it comes to collections, the hardest thing is eliminating the RNG. So for that, my thought was our recasting elixir. So as it is right now, you can use this elixir. You can switch some of the stats or the skills and abilities that we have on the collections themselves. Making it super important when you start looking at these collections is you can use the elixir and either giving us elixir that is going to, again, drop in like an AFK reward, could be weeklies, could be dailies, could be whatever, or giving us arcane elixir based on progression. This is something I feel like they could really put into campaign progression, where again, every so many stages, it gives you 100 of these arcane elixir, at least giving players the ability to have and switch some of the stats within these collections, which I feel like would be absolutely huge, because of course, going in here to recast the abilities, it's expensive. It is very expensive. Even thinking of all of the time that I've been playing AFK Arena since we've been farming out collections, these two abilities right here for physical pierce on this one specifically, these are the only two recasts that I've done at all. That's it. So everything that we've done, everything we farmed, all the collections, everything else that we've gotten to, we have only reset or recast those two abilities, which is kind of crazy. If we had the ability to essentially level some of these up, again, at a much cheaper cost, we could go ahead and build out some more ideal collections. Whales are going to be whales. They're going to buy it out. They already have it. And even when you look at whale players, they already have them all built. The collections are insane when you're putting a lot of money into AFK Arena. But for a majority of us, including myself, I want to see this changed, and I want to see it really in a very, very big way. Now, of course, when it comes to custom scrolls, that is another spot where I feel like they could really make this work by reducing the cost of using totems to get these scrolls themselves. I mean, 36 of our legendary totems is a lot. When you start looking at the ability to acquire these, I mean, even here, you're getting one attempt. So we're getting one guaranteed totem every single week if we have the arcane staffs to draw them. If we do not have the arcane staffs to draw them, then of course we are not getting any at all, which again is kind of crazy, because this is a massive part of the game. If you want to be competitive within AFK Arena, looking at the Curse Realm, the Nightmare Corridor, the Treasure Scramble, all of the game modes do require collections. The stronger the collections, the better you're going to perform. Giving us a stronger and really a more in-depth access to these would make a big difference. And of course, these allow you to choose or pick a custom upgrade in there, or a custom attack, defense, or of course this level. It gives us the ability to build out a custom collection with the utilization, not only what we get for RNG, but changing it with the scrolls that we get. Then of course the recast elixir would come in to make some really, really good collections, making it a lot easier. Now, of course, the fear in here, and a lot of players have shared, when we start looking at like the display, This is the North Zone collections. This is only one set of collections that we're having right now. New events, new unions, new rewards, new enemies. Overall, if they are coming out with like a South Zone, an East Zone, a West Zone, if we start getting a lot more collections outside of just the ones we have, it's going to be just asinine trying to build them because so many players hate them. They have an ability to fix and really adjust the collections as we have them today, and they could do it with a couple just easy ones. Like I said earlier, with the Field of Stars would make a big difference. And then of course the sharing of collections. This is another part that I feel it needs to be adjusted, it needs to be changed. So when we look in here and modifying a collection right here, so 30 of 70 legendary bizarre totems. Excuse me, that's another 40 legendary bizarre totems that I have to use on this collection specifically. This isn't going to run over. This isn't going to overflow to any of our other collections. This is only that specific collection. Even here, I need another 14 legendary bizarre totems used on this collection itself, which again is pretty insane to think that having the ability to use these on, what do we have, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 collections to get these unlocked to any really feasible utilizing these collections. Even here, I need another 20. Guys, it takes months, if you're lucky, if you're doing this on a regular basis like I am, you are literally talking months to get those collections, to use 20 of our legendary bizarre totems within the game mode to unlock the additional slots in there to build one good collection. It is far too many. Even looking at the totems right here, I mean, we have what, 10, we have about 15 totems in here. But of course, a lot of them are different. We have warrior totems, we have the tank totems, ranger totems, we have support totems. So again, thinking of the ability to go ahead and build out something that is going to be worthwhile, that is going to be used in a multitude of places, and being able to actually recast some of the abilities and get the shared collections a little bit easier. So in there, guys, even just reducing the number of legendary bizarre totems that have to be used to unlock those additional slots would make a big difference. It would give the players the ability to go in here, build a really, really good collection like this, swap up or adjust what they need to, then give access to a few more heroes to use this collection, or even make key collections or something of that nature where, let's say you have a really strong built collection, it's going to give you access to equip it on a bunch of different heroes, and just one single collection that has essentially more slots opened up in here so more heroes can use it, because a lot of them overwrite. A lot of the collections that we're seeing are used the exact same. Now, again, when you're looking at recasting these, you can see it is 500 of our elixir. So the ability to actually take, this full attack and build it up even further is near impossible, just for the simple fact that we do not have the recasting elixir. Like I said earlier, there are 2 that we built. So overall, guys, just to recap, number 1, arcane staffs coming in the AFK rewards absolutely needs to happen. You have to give the ability to get the staffs themselves. And again, for a majority of players, I go in here every single day. We are buying staffs out of here every single day, but at the cost of 300 diamonds each. If I do the reset, it's 100 diamonds, then it's 300 for the staff, and rinse and repeat. If I do it again, it's another 300 for the staff. The cost of the arcane staffs are so high that players are either going to stop buying out the time emblems, which are super important because, of course, it is the awakened heroes to get the arcane staffs, or they're just going to neglect the Ghoulish Gallery altogether because there's no way to get enough staffs. Even with the 10 that they give us on a weekly basis, going in here, a lot of times the 10 we get doesn't yield you any legendary totems. So again, you're kind of stuck. If you're not buying them, there's no way to get them. Adding them in, just like they've kind of sprinkled in a lot of other things, but AFK rewards, maybe put some in the Labyrinth, maybe put some in the Cursed Realm, Nightmare Corridor, couple different places to make it a lot easier to get those staffs, as well as the quests in the weeklies and the dailies in the weeklies would make a big difference with being able to actually build a collection. And again, it would make it a lot easier, even though it's RNG. And of course, the last one, guys, is the reset. When it comes to the reset, so when you're going in here and you're running your collections and you get to the point of ending the Ghoulish Gallery, when you're in the very last the level 10, having the ability to actually reset or swap one of those is what we're missing, because a lot of players are going in here, they're collecting those mythic abilities, they're getting to the end and it's not the mythic abilities they want on the collection they're looking for. And then again, there's no way to swap it. So you're kind of SOL because you're stuck with that collection ability. And of course, you can't change it. For me, for whatever reason, I go in here and I find a ton of mythic erosions until I go to build out a collection that I need erosion. Then I see one or I see zero, which again, the RNG factor in here is kind of crazy. If you got to the end and you could swap at least one or two of the skills with one of the changes to make, again, the collection's a little bit more adjustable, a little bit more feasible, would definitely make sense. All right, guys, so that is going to do it for today's video. Let me know in the comments what you guys think about collections. And as always, thank you guys for watching.